Hey guys, welcome back. So we have, let me just start out. Okay, I know I am not good at finishing projects. I know I have a bunch of stuff out and it's just starting projects and then I move on to the next thing, and I promise I'm working on it. I'm not very good at it because I just have a million different projects going on. So I am going to look at a potential new project. And I know what you're thinking, Skylar, you already have a lot of projects, and you would be 100% correct. I have a lot of projects, but this one is different because it's a new one. So I thought I'd show you guys the very first. I've never seen it. I've been told about it and I've never seen it, so I want to give you guys the first look that I get so that I can give you guys a start to finish, because I really am trying to do good videos and I know a lot of them are not probably what we would qualify as good. So yeah, so we're on our way to go look at it, and the next thing you see will be that truck. Okay. Okay, so it's all unloaded. Here's a little closer look. When I looked at it earlier, there was no interior at all in it, and then I drove away to get my trailer and I came back and you know, there's seats and stuff in it, so that's kind of cool. I'm sure I'm missing some parts here and there. There's a nice beehive and a little mirror there, but this is what I got to deal with. Basically every wire has to be touched because there's a whole bunch like this that are just melted and screwed. And then yeah, so it's gonna be a challenge, but it's fairly straight. The body's really straight. It's got some regular wheels on it, except for this one corner has a dually wheel on it. The left rear tire is locked up and we don't know why, and we went ahead and did a little bit of clearancing here on the body, which is less than ideal, but it can be fixed. So can the house. Luckily it's not fancy. So all right, here is a closer look at the wiring damage that we've got going on in here. So you can see, like, basically beginning right here Nothing's melted, nothing's real bad. And then you get up about right here is where it starts. And we've got a couple of wires. We've got one right here. We've got one right here. We got just a bunch of them in here. This blue one. This one is completely separated right here. I believe this is the fuel pump wire as well. Could be wrong. But all of that is going to need fixed, which really isn't, you know, super difficult, but it is a matter of it needs done. So as you can see, I pulled the dash out with the help from a few friends. There's some stuff that we're going to address while we have the dash out because I want to keep this truck forever. So we're going to address the blend doors. This one was just sitting in there, so we're going to make sure that that is properly connected and not going to fall in there, and it's going to seal up and everything like that. Probably going to do a heater core since we already have the dash out, and the air conditioner one, whatever that's called. Probably going to do that eventually, you know, not for a little bit here. And we're basically, what we're going to start with is tackling all of the wiring, because it has been like, this stuff in here isn't even the worst of it. Somebody came through in here and tried to install a bunch of gauges and stuff like that and just did like a terrible job. Like, these wires go through the firewall, but they were run through here. I cut them out of the dash because I'm going to basically start from scratch. This wire might have been factory, but I don't think it is. I can't see what it runs to yet, though. I haven't done too much digging into it. I can feel it back here. It might be factory, but we're going to look into that. And then just a little memo. These dashes unbolt and come out, okay? You don't have to drill the rivets out. If you're drilling rivets out to get your dash out, you're doing something wrong. And the guy that had this before drilled a lot of them. So that is going to have to be fixed before I can put the dash back in. So just don't do that. But in here there's a bunch of wires that are just cut off. There's a bunch that are not part of the main harness. There's a bunch that are improperly fixed. Like, here's a heat and shrink connector that's not heat shrunk, it's just crimped and then obviously cut. But there's a bunch of other ones that I just, but the main thing is like this harness right here. Why would you do this? Don't do that. That's dumb. Don't do that. So yeah, I got to go through all of this. But first, look at that. There's a what, I don't even know what is going on here. What is that? Is not a factory. Okay, yeah. So I got some chasing down of things to do on there, but we're gonna start with this. Get the in the cab cleaned up. There's also stuff to do in the engine bay because somebody just cut the battery out, literally. So that's not, again, a super hard thing to deal with, but it is something I have to deal with. We will also be putting a second battery in it because why not? And I'm going to go through this engine compartment because I already noticed it's missing a plug wire. Plug's still in it, which is good. Missing a plug wire, missing the upper radiator hose. The AC is not charged, and we're going to try and figure out why. But we're not going to charge it until we do the air conditioner thing in there. This sensor's bad, so that's obviously going to need replaced while it's not charged. You know, among other things, this is going to be a large project. But it's going to be a super cool truck when I'm done with it, because I plan on, I've wanted a 1 ton dually for my whole life, and now I have one, and I want to fix it and make it cool. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to walk you guys through it as best I can. Alright, I started to do a time lapse of repairing this harness, but I thought I'd show you guys what I've already found. So this was all wrapped up in tape. It had this little Kevlar deal, whatever, running behind this. Alright, and what I found was, first of all, I started with one of these orange wires. I cut it, started falling back, and I found this, which that might be a factory GM thing to crimp all those together. I don't think so, but it could be, okay? But it's not factory for them to wrap it in duct tape. Okay, so I found that. These are all melted together, and they were all melted together up in that deal behind the e-brake deal here, okay? And you follow this up, there was another deal wrapped in duct tape right here, and some type of solder joint, something right there, okay? And then I found this orange wire that's got a joint right here, and then it changes color, and it runs up here, and it's orange in this connector, and then they've got a joint right there, which I haven't looked under this tape yet, and they had it taped all the way to here. Let me see if I can get this undone with one hand and show you guys. Nope. Okay, well, it's a kind of solder joint. Some of the ugliest solder I have ever seen, ever. This is not the proper way to fix a harness, guys. Don't do this. Because now I have to deal with it, and I don't want to. So, yeah, that's pretty stellar right there. But, yeah, so this is going to be more of a process than I thought. And now, like I said, this was all taped all nicely, just within this little 3-foot section here. I mean, look, here's another duct tape joint right here. That's duct tape right there with multiple wires going to one. So, and it runs in here and it just disappears back there. So who knows what we're gonna find. This harness runs all the way back, comes out of the back of the cab, and then goes under the truck. So, yep, here we go. So, it has become extensively clear that this wiring harness is untrustworthy, and I don't want to say unsavable, but it would be a very large task to save it, along with not knowing how the wires were originally at this point because of how messed up they are. So I have a 90, this is a 97. I have a 98 Suburban that is for parts, and we are going to take the harness out of that and the dash out of it and lots and lots and lots of other stuff out of it and put it in this truck, because I think that is going to be a better option. So next thing you'll see is me doing that, and it will be the start of something glorious, because I don't think anybody else has done it, and if anybody else has done it, haven't been able to find them or seen any videos. So I think this is going to be the first one. All right, here is what we have. I know I didn't get good footage of pulling it out because, surprise, surprise, camera died and we were on a roll. Buddy AJ helped me. We pulled all of this stuff out, which this is, there's essentially 3 harnesses here. There's the dash, and then there's a harness inside of the dash. Okay, and then there's one that goes from the front left corner of the cab to the back, which this one ran all the way to the back and then back through the Suburban and everything like that. So that's going to need some attention paid to it. And then there's the one that runs partially through the dash, but also runs down through the floor and goes underneath of the center console and the 2 front seats. So we have that. And we also have a bed full of parts, because that Suburban had some stuff in it that I didn't get with this truck, like leather front seats that are electric and heated, and the front seats that were in this truck, at least the passenger side, is completely tore up and chewed up. So the driver's seat also has about the same amount of wear as this one has. That one's the driver's seat right there. The passenger seat's in better shape. And then we've got all kinds of trim pieces. This is the brown-ish trim, and this is the grayish trim. So I'm gonna try to not use the brown trim, but I'm missing a ton of trim pieces. And I'd rather have it put together and mismatched than have it completely missing. So we're gonna start there, and once it's all running and usable and everything like that, then we'll move on. But for now, I'm not even worried about trim. We got to get it running first. Don't even think about trim. So with that being said, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.